Hello, Disney fans, and to all my friends and family, whether by blood or not, who celebrate it, I wish you a happy Yule and a happy winter solstice, today being the first day of Yule. This is a special season, even though tonight is the longest, coldest night of the year. It's also the night when things start to turn towards the light again. From here on out, the days will be getting longer and we're waiting for spring. It's a reminder that winter doesn't last forever. That's why today I decided to review a movie that isn't technically, uh, it's not a Christmas movie and it's not even technically a holiday movie, but it does have to do with winter. And that movie is Tinkerbell and the Secret of the Wings. Now, if you've seen the first Tinkerbell movie, you know that the fairies are responsible for the changing of the seasons, whether it's leaves changing color, plants growing, ice forming, whatever the case may be, any seasonal change they're a part of. Now, Tinkerbell is curious about the winter woods, and she goes along with her friend Fawn when Fawn brings the animals to cross the border to get their winter coats. Tinkerbell is not one to listen to rules, and she's not going to pay attention to the rule that a warm weather fairy is not allowed to go into the winter woods. She doesn't think about the reason behind it, and as soon as Fawn's back is turned, she goes across, and she makes a very interesting discovery. Of course, fairies have all kinds of magic, but it is not normal for their wings to glow like that. Well, Tinkerbell wants some answers, and she goes looking to the library because, of course, that's the obvious place to find out anything that you want to look up. Problem is, a bookworm got there before she did.
Okay. Sparkling wings. When most incredible, that the sparkle, there were two.
Yeah, when I say a bookworm got there first, I mean an actual bookworm who has a taste for paper and ate some of the pages. I thought that was a neat little joke. I mean, maybe that's just my opinion, but the idea of an actual bookworm made me laugh. Now, Tinkerbell has a mystery to solve here. Two what, like she said. What is there two of that makes her wings light up like that? Well, she's told the only way to get the real answers would be to see the keeper. He's basically a combination of librarian, bookkeeper, history teacher. He basically knows all of fairy lore. Problem, of course, nothing is ever going to be this easy. He's a winter fairy, which means Tinkerbell has to sneak across into the winter woods. She's going to have to go a lot deeper there into the winter woods than she did the first time. And being a tinker, of course, she invents a way to get over there safely. She puts on a coat because she's been warned going over there her wings will freeze. Now that's important because if your wings get frozen and they break, there is no cure. You're not going to be able to fly again. But she figures out how to invent a coat, and I thought that was really clever because winter fairies don't need coats. Warm weather fairies never would go where they would need one. I don't know if they would even know what a coat is, but she's clever enough to invent this. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of obvious to us to wear something warm when we go out, but it struck me as unusual that a fairy would think in those terms, since they've never encountered that problem. Now she goes there and she actually almost gets in trouble right away when she drops the book on wing lore. But in getting it lost, she gets a way to follow the book itself right to the keeper.
Now that is odd.
Oh.
It must have been left in the basket by accident. Return this to the keeper.
The keeper.
Tinkerbell's not the only one interested in seeing the keeper. And she's not the only one there for that reason, wanting to know why her wings have suddenly started to sparkle, or at least sparkle occasionally. And she's about to get the answer in a way she didn't expect. This new fairy is Periwinkle, and it turns out the reason that their wings glow like that when they're near each other, and the reason their wings are identical, is they're sisters, twin sisters born of the same laugh. Now, this is both a wonderful thing and a terrible thing, because them being together is not allowed, and it's not out of any malice that either side has for the other. Weather fairies certainly have no reason to dislike winter fairies, but it's simply not safe for either of them to be in the other's world. Lord Mallory has the suspicions that a warm weather fairy is in the winter woods, and he tells Dewey, the bookkeeper, to keep an eye out for whoever this warm weather fairy is and make sure that they get back across the border. Well, Dewey understands that these two really need to be together, and he finds a loophole in that he was never actually told when Tinkerbell had to go back across the border. He warns them it's colder out at night. Better have Tinkerbell back by then. But in the meantime, enjoy yourselves. And they do. They have a wonderful time doing all the winter things that we love to do in winter. They ice skate, they sled, they have fun in the snow. And they also find out they have a lot in common.
Favorite star? Second star to the right. Okay. Favorite drink? Hot chamomile tea. Iced chamomile tea. Oh.
Since the two of them hit it off so well together, naturally Tinkerbell wants to show her sister all that's in the warm weather world. Periwinkle has never seen flowers, butterflies, any of the things that Tinkerbell's always known. And they both want to learn about each other's worlds. So Tinkerbell decides not only is she going to bring her sister over to her world, but she's also going to talk to Queen Clarion about getting the rules changed.
Making this machine so she can come here and meet you all. And after that, we'll go straight to Queen Clarion.
Oh, have you thought this through? Hi, Queen Clarion. Meet the winter fairy I smuggled over the border.
Naturally, poor Tinkerbell thinks, oh, it's just a dumb rule that has no meaning that was, to keep us apart. We can find ways around the danger to our wings, so why not just let us be together? And her plan to get around the danger to their wings actually works for a time. She's built an ice machine that will help keep Periwinkle nice and cold while she travels through their world. It's a little complicated. They have to pull a cart around with the machine that chips ice and makes snow and cools her, but it works. And Periwinkle has just as much fun in the warm weather world as Tinkerbell did in hers. She gets to see butterflies, fish, flowers, everything she's never seen before. She even gets a nice gift from one of the other fairies, from Rosetta, and now this is an important thing that comes up again later in the movie.
Thank you. I'll keep it forever. Wow.
Everyone is amazed by what Periwinkle can do, and Tinkerbell tries to show them the awesome thing that happens when their wings line up too. But there's a problem, of course, with her ice machine. And that is you're going throughout the warm weather, not only is the ice being chipped away and used up, but it's also melting. The ice is going to run out. They have limited time, and when their time is up, they've got to get Periwinkle out of there fast.
Even our wings are identical. That's why they sparkled. Let's show them.
I don't feel so.
Oh, Harry! Is she alright? I think she's getting a little too.
Not only is Periwinkle feeling sick from the heat, but the danger to her wings is very real. Her wings are actually almost melting in the heat, and they will break if they don't get her back to the winter woods fast. They're lucky they make it in time, but it was way too close a call. Lord Mallory, who rules the winter woods, and Queen Clarion tell the two of them, "We're sorry, but you cannot do anything like this again. There's a reason why they aren't allowed in each other's worlds." Queen Clarion and Mallory learned this the hard way, and they tell the two of them the story of why they made this rule.
When Pixie Hollow was very young, two fairies met and fell in love. One of them was a winter fairy.
And the other was from the warm season.
It's easy to guess the way they tell the story together that Queen Clarion and Lord Mallory are the two fairies in the story. They were very much in love. And one day, Lord Mallory crossed over to be with Queen Clarion. The problem is, he broke a wing, never able to fly on his own again. That was when the rule was made that they had to say goodbye, and the warm weather fairies and the winter weather fairies could no longer cross into each other's worlds for their own safety. This is so hard for Tinkerbell to accept. But as but there's no way around it. And she's seen how dangerous it is for Periwinkle to come to her world. While Periwinkle's world is about to come to her world. Remember that ice machine? Turns out it ended up getting washed downstream and caught on the edge of where winter and spring meet. Bad news because there's an endless supply of ice there, and with it still running, it can create an endless winter storm that will cross over into the warm seasons. Not good. This could be the end of everything as the fairies have known it, because with the warm weather seasons frozen, the fairies can't fly, they can't do anything that they have to do. It's the end of everything they've known. Luckily, Tinkerbell happens to find something that gives you a clue as to how to stop this disaster.
It's still alive.
Tinkerbell realizes the frost actually kept the flower alive. Now, their biggest problem at the moment is if the pixie dust tree gets killed by the cold. Once they lose the pixie dust, that's game over for everything. But if they can save the tree, there's still hope. And if they're going to do that, they need to get the frost berries. So Tinkerbell sets out to go get Periwinkle and the others. Unfortunately, she rushes off so fast. Well, she kind of has to because flying's faster than walking. But still, in her hurry to get Periwinkle, she forgets her jacket. And this has some serious consequences.
Tinkerbell!
I like the way this scene is done. We don't actually see yet whether Tinkerbell's wing is broken or not. We see her gasp, we see a reaction, but it could be interpreted as I got lucky or oh no, I'm hurt. We know she's in pain, we don't know the extent of things just yet. Periwinkle comes and Tinkerbell tells her, "We need you guys, you can save us." Everybody works together and their plan works. It's after this when everybody is celebrating, the tree saved, things are starting to get warmer again, that we find out when Tinkerbell doesn't fly joining in the celebrations.
Oh. When you flew to winter, that's why you fell.
Oh no.
With a broken wing, of course, Tink will never be able to fly again. This is treated almost like a human being put into a wheelchair for the rest of their life. But of course, this is Disney. They're not going to let Tinkerbell have a broken wing forever. And the way that they solved this, the way that she's healed, is really incredible.
Sisters. Jingles!
There's no real explanation given for how this works. All that's really known is that their wings are identical because they're sisters. And even Dewey says this is a new chapter in his books. I want to talk about Dewey for just a second here. Dewey is probably my. You gotta love Periwinkle too, but Dewey's probably my favorite of the Winter Fairies. He he has such a great reaction too when everybody's celebrating and we finally see Queen Clarion and Lord Mallory get together.
Queen Clarion.
Well, I didn't know they were going to do the smoochy smoochity. Guess they're telling people now.
Dewey is such a warm-hearted fairy. Right from the start, he wants both sides to be able to get together. And now they safely have a way to do that. Now they know that frost protects against the cold. All they have to do is put a layer of frost over their wings, and the warm weather fairies can cross over. And it ends with everybody having a wonderful time in the winter woods, finally getting to enjoy all that winter has to offer. I hope that all of you are enjoying the winter, and remember at this time of year that even though things are dark, light always comes again. And the shortest night of the year, the longest night of the year, I should say, comes before the days start to lengthen. Hope all of you are having the happiest of holidays, and until next time, remember the magic.